Hello, everybody. Welcome to the seventh episode of MDafterDark. I'm Andre Tainter along with Michael Hernan, and I'm introducing today because Michael is a bit down because the Wisconsin Badgers just lost in the round of 32 to the BYU Cougars. Michael, how are you feeling today?
Pain.
Fair
Pain,
enough.
despair, blackness, everything. No light in the end of the tunnel. Depression.
Yeah, well, now
I
you know
just
how
was,
I
I
feel.
just,
At least your team made the tournament. As a Northwestern fan, very happy that they lost. Nick Martinelli will always be better than John Tanji. I hope you always know that, Michael.
Tanjay is going to be gone anyway, so
Literally.
it is what it is.
Um, oh,
Um,
yes. Wait, why is UCLA getting pooped on all of a sudden? All right.
uh,
Well, let's start it off. Michael, what do you want to start off with today?
I guess we're going to start with the pain and suffering of tonight, of course.
All
The
right.
game of the night. The game of the night tonight was, of course, BYU defeating Wisconsin. Sorry, I won't beat this down all night, but I just want to get my depression out of my way.
Wow,
So
John Tanji had 37 points.
yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Well,
So
37 points and an L.
yeah, BYU won 91 to 89. Of course, Tajay had 37 points, 3 for 9 for the 3-point line, and yeah, he went 14 for 16 for the free throw line. But of course, BYU were led by Richie Saunders,
Baller.
25 points. 3 for 4 from the 3-point line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Saunders killed us. He absolutely killed us. Also killing us, Trevin Cannell had 14 points. Edgar Demon had 11 points and 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Kiba Kita had 10 points, also 6 rebounds. And he had, and yeah, and he was the one that was kept dunking it a lot. And yeah, BYU shot 46% from the 3-point line, shot 15 for 16 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, Wisconsin shot 23 for 29. They did start making their ends, but it was not good in the start. 34% for the 3-point line was the Badgers tonight. Of course, they ended up with John Tonche with 37 points. Also, John Blackwell had a good game. He had 21 points, but 6 for 14 for the field. It's kind of abysmal at that too. Max Klesmit in his final game had 12 points. And then Steven Crowell had 10 points for the Badgers tonight. So, Dre, overall, your reactions to this game other than Tanjay Ballhawk?
Um, yeah, Wisconsin definitely lost themselves that game. They did also kind of get bailed by the refs. I heard a bunch of Wisconsin fans, oh, there should have been a foul here and there. No. There's no reason at all that number 25 for BYU should have got ejected for that. If you think getting hit in the balls is a flagrant two, then you need to go back to elementary school. And honestly, I've already experienced that once this year when Michigan got absolutely bailed by the refs against Northwestern. And I'm not even saying that as a Northwestern fan. There were people complaining about it in the comment sections of so many um, posts because they thought it was a BS call. But I mean, oh, it's a non-basketball play. It's a contact sport. I have watched Grayson Allen beat the crap out of Alex Caruso and break his wrist and only get a shooting foul and a technical foul. He didn't get ejected. They said it was a basketball play. He hit him down here on his arm, and you're telling me swinging up and hitting somebody in the balls on accident is a flagrant two. That's all I'm going to say. The refs today from the games I watched were pretty bad, if I'm going to be honest. From every game I watched. St. John's, Creighton, Wisconsin, not good. They were not good.
So you're saying college basketball has a roughing problem?
Mm-hmm. It's bad. It is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, my takeaways from this game is that I'm not going to try to get too furious about it. I was furious after the first half, but second half I just felt nothing because I knew what was going to happen. But first half I was furious. Like, my goodness. We did not rebound the basketball at all. We did not close out on 3-pointers at all. Turned over the ball, could not make our free throws in the start, and overall just sloppy basketball to start. And when you have that bad of a first half of a game, you can't win basketball games. No matter what, you cannot win basketball games. I don't care if you score 53 points in the second half. When you allow 47 points and 44 points, or 47 in the first half and 44 points in the second half, you can't win basketball games. You can't win basketball games by lackadaisical closeouts, getting back into transition unsuccessfully most of the time, and BYU just played their pace tonight. Like, BYU just they played freely. Meanwhile, we came out slow again. And by the time we started going, it was too late. I knew Tajay was going to miss that shot because nothing ever comes. Because I knew that Wisconsin was going to choke again in March again. This has happened for the past 5 years. We have not made the Sweet 16 since 2017. And I don't know. I mean, I think this is what's going to happen next year. We're going to have a good season next year. We're going to have a relatively high seed, and we're going to be bounced out in the first weekend. It's going to happen every year until I see something change. Like, I don't know why this is. Why do we get out the Soul Stars? But I'm starting to question it. I don't know. And, yeah, it was just pain. Horrible. BYU beats us. I remember in 2018 when they beat us in Camp Randall, I was there. And now
Camp
this
Randall.
in football, yeah. And
Oh,
now this.
they played BYU in football.
Yeah, in 2018 we lost. And we were number 6 in the country at the time too, and
Who
BYU
was
was
their
unranked.
quarterback? Was that
BYU,
that wasn't Zach Wilson?
no, Tanner Magnum.
Who?
Tanner Magnum. I remember Squally Canada, their running back, absolutely killed us.
Squally?
Squally Canada, yep. He killed us. That was back in football though, but
All right. Well,
yeah.
Michael, let's move on. I think we already got what we got out of the Wisconsin game.
Yeah, it is. Alright. Enough depression. Let's try to get through without being depressed.
There's a couple games I want to do, but I will let you know the games I want to do.
Alright. Yeah, so of course we gone through the Badger game, of course. And next time we're gonna move to a Big Ten team that actually won today and a team that actually started well. And that one is Purdue, of course. They defeated McNeese today, 76-62. Yeah, this one Purdue had the 38-20 lead in the first half, and they basically kept rolling ever since. Leading the way for the Boilermakers was Trey Kaufman-Renn, who had
Mm-hmm.
another great performance today. He had 22 points and 15 rebounds.
Guess who bet on
My
him?
goodness.
Me! I finally bet on somebody good! Sorry. Continue.
Hooray. Yeah, you go. Yeah, Trey Kaufman-Renn had an impressive performance today. 8 for 10 for the free throw line as well. And then Fletcher Lawyer had 15 points today. He only went
Hate that
3 for
guy.
10. He only went 3 for 10 for the 3-point line and 4 for 12 from the field, but he did go 4 for 6 from the free throw line. And then CJ Cox he had 11 points today. And then Braden Smith had 10 points and 5 assists. And then meanwhile, for the losing side for McNeese, they were led by Sincere Parker off the bench with 17 points. And then Javon Garcia had 12 points for the Cowboys. And then Christian Shoemate had 6 points and 9 rebounds. So Dre, your thoughts about McNeese and Purdue?
McNeese, they were really bad to start the game. They're like 2 for 16 or something. And then they picked it up in the second half, but they were already down by like 20. It was too late to come back.
Sounds like another team I know. Wisconsin. All right, sorry about that. But anyways, okay, yeah, that was okay. Anyways, McNeese shot 33% from the 33.3% from the 3-point line. That was basically another downfall of them again. Meanwhile, Purdue shot 42.3% from the 3-point line. So overall, Purdue just shot the ball better and just overall dominated. So, any more thoughts about McNeese and Purdue before we move on?
Trey Kaufman Red battled today, and he
Oh,
battled to success. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, Trey Kaufman-Renn had scored 20 plus points in the first two NCAA tournament games against two centers that won Defensive Player of the Year in their conferences. Granted, the Big South and Southland aren't really that great, but I still have a huge respect for Jocelyn Bodo and Christian Shoemate. So for Trey Kaufman-Renn to be doing that against those two,
What was that? Did
that's
you
a,
just see that?
yeah, it was a thumb
Through the
thingy.
what
Yeah,
was that?
Riverside tweaking right now.
Oh man.
That cheered
Oh,
me
I
up a
could,
little bit, at least.
dude. Yeah, for real. It's so confusing.
Yeah. All right, and then anyways, now we're gonna go to our upset of the day. That's not BYU Wisconsin. Dre, is
That's
this
not an
one of the
up.
games you
Oh,
want?
I guess it is.
Yeah. All
Oh,
right,
this
Dre.
is one of the games that I wanted to talk about. Arkansas and St. John's, correct?
Yup.
All I'm gonna say is, um, yeah, St. John's just played really bad. So the 10 seed Arkansas beat the 2 seed St. John's 75-66. Arkansas was led by Billy Richmond III, a freshman, with 16 points. Carter Knox had 15.6 rebounds. John L. Davis had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and the dagger, which was 2 free throws. And Jonas Adu had 7.7 rebounds. Overall, pretty decent. Oh, and Trevon Brazil had 8 points, 8 rebounds in 30 minutes. But the star for St. John's was not the Big East Player of the Year. It was Ejiofor with 23 points, 12 rebounds in 37 minutes, a double double. They also had Devin Smith with 13 points and 6 rebounds. R.J. Lewis struggled 3 for 17 from the field, 9 points, 7 rebounds. Aaron Scott 7 points, 10 rebounds, and Ruben Prey, a freshman, 4 points, 4 rebounds. Overall, this is wow. Whew. Arkansas shot 43% from the field. St. John's shot 28%. But look at this. This is very subpar. Arkansas, Arkansas, Arkansas shot 2 for 19 from the 3 point line, 10.5%. Oh, it gets worse, trust me. 2 for 22, 9.1% from the 3 point line, St. John's. And then the free throw line doesn't get any better. Arkansas, stop saying Arkansas. Arkansas shot 70%, and St. John's shot 71%. St. John's actually won the board battle, and both teams didn't turn the ball over very much. 9 turnovers for Arkansas, it's only 6 for St. John's. It's just the inability to make shots for St. John's. That's why they lost. And the 3 for 17 from the Big East Player of the Year doesn't help. So yeah, thoughts on that?
Okay, I know Ruff as a Wisconsin fan sucks right now, but it also sucks to be a St. John's fan right now. I mean, my goodness, you shoot 10% from the field and you still win? Wow.
Oh,
I
oh, hang
that's
on, gang members. Sorry. Um, I just made $15 on a parlay. We will get to that later. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
nice. So, anyways, Arkansas, yeah, they just played. I mean, this was more a defensive battle. I mean, you knew that was going to be coming in with St. John's plays. I thought when St. John's was down early, I thought they would just come back because that's what they've been doing all year long. But there's one thing I want to point out. So, R.J. Lewis did not play in the last 3 minutes or so in the game. He was benched for that. He didn't even step on the court when the game was mattered. And that was something that stood out to me because Rick Pitino, that's an interesting move. because even though R.J. Lewis did shoot 3 for 17 for the field and 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, like he's your best player. He's your best player, and
Mm-hmm.
not out there in those moments is just wow. And also, I kind of want to put a segment into a segment. So Arkansas, of course, they have Carter Knox on their team, and his older brother Kevin just reportedly just signed with the Warriors for the rest of the season. So
Dang. That's his, wow. Kevin Knox
that's
has been in the league for a few years
yeah,
now, too.
yeah,
What a big, and he's a freshman. Bro, that's a big age gap.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just searching up to make sure this is right. So Kevin Knox's second is the son of former. Wait. So Kevin Knox's father played in the NFL. Interesting. Kobe Knox plays for South Florida, and then Carter right now is playing for Arkansas. So that's just something interesting to point out.
That is an
Yeah.
athletic family.
So honestly, good day for the Knox family. I mean, Kevin's on the team again with the Warriors, and then Carter won a big NCAA tournament game. So yeah. Otherwise, that's all I got.
That's all I got, too. Moving on to the next game.
Yep. Also moved on to the next game. Another Big Ten team that managed to make the Sweet 16.
Wait, hold on. Wait, who's the only Big Ten team to lose in March Madness this year already? Oh! Oh, wasn't it Oh!
Well, UCLA is going to join that list pretty soon since they're losing to
Yeah, but
Tennessee right
are
now.
they? Are they? Are they, though? Wait, hold on. But UCLA is a 7 seed, and they lost to a 2 seed. Oh, man, I'm enjoying myself too much. Let's get to the game.
All right. So Michigan defeated 5 seed Michigan defeated 4 seeded Texas A&M today, 91-79 today. Michigan, oh boy. I know these shooting numbers were not as good as the Arkansas, or not as bad as the Arkansas St. John's ones, but this one's kind of interesting. From 3-point land, Michigan shot 6 for 22, shooting 27.3% from the 3-point line, and they managed to still put up 91 points.
How many
That's
free throws did they shoot?
that's because they went 29 for 36 from the free throw line and 80.6% from
Damn.
the free throw line. And they went 28 for 65 from the field, shooting at a 43.1% clip. Texas A&M, 7 for 27 with a 25.9% three-point percentage. That's not good either. And they shot 38% from the field. So this game, these two teams did not shoot well at all, but yet it was 91-79. Interesting. It just shows you how many ways there is to score. Leading the way for Michigan was Roddy Gale Jr., the Ohio State transfer that came off the bench. He had 26 points today. 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Yeah, that's a clip. And then Vladislav Golden, the Florida Atlantic transfer, he continues his March Madness success as he was on that Florida Atlantic team in the Final Four, as well as John L. Davis, who just got a win for Arkansas. He had 23 points and 12 rebounds today. He shot 9 for 11 for the free throw line. So Michigan, those two players, Vladislav Golden and Roddy Gale Jr., combined 17 for 19 for the free throw line by themselves. How about that? And then Danny Wolf had 14 points and 9 rebounds, 4 assists. And LJ Kaysen had 11 points for Michigan as well. Leading the way for the fighting Texas A&M Aggies, they were led by Pharrell Payne, who scored 26 points off the bench. And then also Wade Taylor the fourth, scored 14 points, only shooting 1 of 8 from the 3-point line and 4 of 15 from the field. He struggled there. And then Anderson Garcia had 11 points. And boy, Zurich Phelps came off the bench and only had 6 points and 7 rebounds and 6 assists. He shot 2 for 9 from the field today. Zurich Phelps struggled again. So, Dre, your thoughts on this one?
I had Michigan winning. I mean, like I said, it was like our second episode. I said they could make a run to the Sweet 16 or Elite Eight. Who do they play now? It's the winner of somebody.
I'm pretty sure they play. Oh, they play Auburn.
They do. Oh, I could. I mean, they did kind of lock down Ryan Kalkbrenner, which I will get to in a bit. But not even just the overview of the games in our parlay section. I will tell you guys about him. But I could with Danny Wolf. I mean, that's a two-headed monster for bigs. I was impressed by Auburn's center that wasn't Johnny Broom or Janai Broom is what they call him. So that could be a grudge match. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, other than that, I got nothing. Zurich Phelps, I thought he was better than that, but he struggled in March Madness. I see.
Oh yeah, he struggled mightily. And that's just something interesting. He came off the bench too, which is interesting. So he might have been struggling before that.
hmm
So yeah,
Also, Wade Taylor, baller. Wade Taylor is a baller.
yeah, he's has been for the past couple of years now. He was a Him and Tyrese Radford were quite the duo last year, and then him and Zurich Phelps getting paired up together was pretty good this year. Until Phelps struggled, and then came
Yeah.
falling apart.
All right, gang. I got the next two games. These are two games that I'm interested in. All right, our next game, the 11 seed Drake Bulldogs versus the 3 seed Texas Tech Red Raiders. Um, Texas Tech won this game 77-64. Uh, they dominated the entire game. The scoreboard does not show it. They dominated. And you want to know one guy that dominated? JT Toppin. He had his
Oh,
1,000th point. He had his 1,000th point tonight. 25 points, 12 rebounds. Darian Williams, though, led the team in points with 28 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Elijah Hawkins, the guy was 1 rebound away from a triple double last game, 16 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. I mean, those three just dominated. Quite literally. Hold on, let me do the math here. 40, 53. Yeah. If nobody else on the team scored other than those three, they still would have won.
wow.
Dominance, dominance by Texas Tech. But obviously, Bennett Sturts, who will definitely be a draft pick in the next 2 years, 21 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Daniel Abreu picked it up with 15 points. Where's number 54? That's kind of weird. And then Tavion Banks with 11 and Cale Combs with 13 and 5 rebounds. Overall, again, Texas Tech 53% from field goal. Um, Drake with 42 and a half. Drake shot 47% from three, and Texas Tech only shot 2 for 14 at 14%. But Texas Tech did pick up their points on the free throw line. 19 for 22, 18 point or 18. Yeah, 18%, 19 for 22. 86.4%. But so did Drake, except they missed one more. 10 for 14. But Texas Tech out rebounded them, more offensive and defensive rebounds, 36 to 26. No turnovers this game. Drake had 5, Texas Tech had 3. Very well played game, other than Drake missed too many shots. Like, no turnovers, a lot of assists. I mean, a lot of the free throws were going in. Well played game, but just Drake couldn't hold on to the dominant JT Toppin. Now that I've watched him play a few games, bro, Chicago, if you get Derek Queen or JT Toppin, very excited for next year. If JT Toppin keeps playing like this, he will be a lottery pick. But that's just my opinion. Um, Anything for you, Michael?
I just gotta say the point you said. I just want to go back to Daniel Abreu that you said that he's goofy that he wears 54. I think Drake has a tradition with 54 because last year Darnell Brody wore 54, I believe, and he was a dog. Let me just search up Darnell Brody.
He was a
I think that
dog.
yeah. Oh wait, he wore number 51. So yeah. So there's about
Maybe
Drake
it's just a tradition with 50s.
because Darnell Brody was a man child for Drake the past couple of years before he recently just graduated. So yeah, something about that. Anyways, I just want to get to, and also another thing, Texas Tech has a player named Federico, which I kind of find interesting. He had two he had 2 points today, but I first learned about Federico when he was with Pitt, and then he transferred to Texas Tech this year, and now he comes off the bench, and I don't know. He's one of my favorite players in college basketball for a reason. I mean, Federico.
The baller
Um,
name.
yeah, Federico. He's from Egypt too. He's from Cairo, Egypt. So yeah. But anyways, about the game itself, I mean, Texas Tech. I mean, I knew it was going to be a game like this sometime somewhere in the 60s and 70s. I mean, of course, Drake likes to slow the tempo down. I mean, these two are similar because they're really good. Both teams are really good defensively, but but the two are different in styles. Drake likes to slow
Mm-hmm.
it down. Meanwhile, Texas
Texas
Tech,
Tech is fast paced.
yeah, they like to push the ball a lot, but they both play great defense. The difference between Missouri and Texas Tech is that Texas Tech takes care of the basketball and they don't get frustrated by Drake's slow tempo. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
Missouri got frustrated and caused a lot of turnovers. And that's the main reason why Texas Tech won this game overall is because they turned over the ball less and they're stars. Like
Yeah.
JJ Toppin, Darian Williams, and Elijah Hawkins went off. And one thing, Chance McMillan did not even play today for Texas Tech. So imagine if
Dang.
Texas Tech continues to play like this, they got a legit shot at making it to the Final Four in San Antonio and playing in their home
Mm-hmm.
state.
That would be good for them.
Oh yeah.
All
Otherwise, that's
right.
pretty much all I got.
Well, this game I really enjoyed. I watched every second of it. The number one Auburn Tigers defeated the number nine Creighton Blue Jays 82-70. Creighton did lead at half, but Auburn just took over in the second half. My new favorite freshman, other than um, KJ Wyndham, Northwestern Wildcat, that's why he's my favorite. Tahad Pettiford led the way with
Oh,
23 points. McDonald's All American. Watched him play, fell in love with his play style. He's cocky, but he's good. I mean, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And then Chad Baker Mazzara, fun fact, 17 points, didn't play the final 13 minutes of the game. He got hurt, and that's why Tahad Pettiford started cooking, because Baker Mazzara was hurt. 17 points in
Chad
his like
Baker.
20 minutes. What about him?
Oh, he
Baker.
said cooking, baking.
Oh, okay. That
Corny
makes sense.
joke.
Oh, Denver Jones, 15 points, 3 assists. Johnny Broom, 2 points off of a double double, 8 and 12 rebounds. And Miles Kelly, who had a great game against um, the sick Alabama State, but 5 points this game, kind of fell off. And then Dylan Cardwell, great game from him, kind of clamped Ryan Kalkbrenner. 6 points, 4 rebounds. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but if you watch the game, you would understand it's something that the stat sheet doesn't show. And Chaney Johnson, 8 points, 8 rebounds. And then for the Creighton Blue Jays, we got again, doesn't show on the stat sheet. Ryan Kalkbrenner, 18 points, 7 rebounds. You'd think, oh, that's a pretty good game from him. If you watched him, he was dying. Like he was gassed from backing down those guys. He was running up down the court huffing. Like even the announcers could notice it. Stephen Ashworth and Jemiah Neal both had 13 points. Stephen Ashworth with 8 assists. Jackson McAndrew, freshman, baller. He will be an NBA product. 6'8", can knock down the three ball. If he gets a little bit of muscle on his body, he will be a phenomenal athlete. Fedor Zujic, another freshman, 10 points. That's about it. And then Jason Green fouled out, 4 points, 3 rebounds. And then overall, Creighton did shoot better, 47. I guess they both shot 47%, but it was a little bit better. Creighton was lighting it up from the 3 point line, though, just not when it mattered. 44% to Auburn's 36%. Both teams struggled at the free throw line, other than Tahad Pettiford, and he had a bunch of points at the free throw line. 71% for Auburn, 61% for Creighton. And then Auburn owned the boards. They didn't have a lot of assists though, and they had less turnovers, 10-6. They won the turnover battle. This game was a fun watch. I mean, Auburn cooked in the second half. It was very fun. Like I said, Pettiford took the spot of Baker Mazzara and just ran with it. And then, hey, Ja'Kai Howard got a few minutes in at the very end. High flying freshman. Too bad he won't play when it actually matters, though. He'll be good in the next few years, though. But other than that, Michael, you got anything?
Basically, the main thing about this game was that this game was back and forth for basically the entire first half and into the second half. Creighton had a 50-48 lead, and then the game completely changed when Auburn went on that 10-0 run, or I think it even got to 13-0 at one point. But once Auburn went on that run, it was basically over. Auburn took control, and they led for the entire way. And how about Chad Baker Mazzara too? Like he was a shot maker today. Like my goodness, yeah, he only shot 2 for 4 for the 3-point line, but those 2 3-pointers he hit during that run was huge, making step back threes. And yeah, I didn't know Chad Baker Mazzara had that in him. I knew he's a good player, but I didn't know he could create that much. But anyways, this was just a good win for Auburn. Get the fraudulent stench off of them after barely surviving Alabama State, even though they did win by 20. But um, I know some people are going to say they're not going to get rid of that yet because Creighton was winning in the second half. But anyway, Auburn survived the advance, and they got a tough game against Michigan coming up in the Sweet 16. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's really it, honestly. All
Yeah,
right.
that's all I got.
And then for the final game that's not going on right now, you can have it, Michael. Gonzaga and Houston.
Alrighty, so Houston survived a late surge from Gonzaga. Oh, that's Gonzaga tried to have a late surge even though they struggled for the whole entire game. I wonder who that sounds like. Wisconsin. Oh, God. Alright, so yeah, anyways, Gonzaga fans, I'll pour one out for you. Soda, that is. We're under soda, that is. We're underage. Alright. I'll pour you out a glass of soda. Um, Houston defeated Gonzaga 81-78. Again, Houston was up by 14 at one point. Gonzaga was able to get it back down to like 1 at one point, but Houston made some clutch free throws, and Gonzaga had a turnover late, and Houston would end up winning the game. So leading the way for Houston was L.J. Cryer, who had 30 points tonight, including shooting 6 for 11 for the 3-point line, 8 for 15 for the field, and 8 for 8 for the free throw line. What a night that Cryer had. And then I have a speech impediment. Jawan Roberts. He had
Bro.
he had 18 points tonight, and he shot 9 for 18 from the field tonight, so pretty good. And then Emmanuel Sharp had 12 points. Oh yeah, also Roberts had 8 rebounds, by the way, and 5 assists. Forgot to mention that part. And then Joseph Tugler had 10 points and 11 rebounds for the Cougs. And then for Gonzaga, they were led by Graham Ike, who had 27 points. Khalif Battle had 17 points, 6 rebounds. And then Brandon Huff had 11 points and 4 rebounds. And then Ryan Nemhard had a double-double with 10 points and 11 assists. So, oh yeah, by the way, Gonzaga went 15 for 15, making all their free throws today. But it wasn't enough as they would fall short. So, Dre, your thoughts on this one?
Gonzaga kept it close after being down by quite a bit in the first half. I mean, I saw a thing where they could have tied the game at the end, but they didn't even get a shot off. They got a shot clock violation. But yeah, rough for Gonzaga to keep it close to the 1 seed though. That's always what you want to see. But yeah, honestly, them having an 8 seed and watching teams like UCLA and Marquette lose in the first and second round, I mean, they could have been higher. But other than that, good season for Gonzaga. they'll always be back next year.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Sadly, I had Gonzaga in the Elite Eight, so I had Gonzaga win this game, so that was rough. But anyways, I mean, of course, Houston played their style of basketball for the whole entire game, and I guess I failed to realize that Houston is not no St. Mary's. They're a much better team than St. Mary's. Houston plays that style of basketball better, where Houston likes to slow it down, play great defense, and just play a slow-paced style of basketball. Gonzaga kind of struggled with that in the first half, but then they eventually got along with it. But eventually Houston just controlled the tempo and would eventually pull out this win. So honestly, respect to Houston for making their sixth Sweet 16 appearance in a row or making the Sweet 16 appearance for the sixth consecutive time, which is probably the most in probably history or something like that. So yeah, so great win for Houston. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got. Dre, you got anything else?
Nah, that's all I got. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, and then UCLA and Tennessee right now are just wrapping up. They are currently at 54.2 seconds left. So yeah. Okay, and now ESPN is ahead. They just showed a three-pointer before it even showed on my television screen.
Who
So,
hit a 3-pointer?
um, um, I'm looking at here. Sky Clark just made a
Mm.
three-pointer, and now they just call timeout. So we're gonna it's now 11-point game. This might get interesting. I don't know. So we're gonna save that for the end of the podcast, and we are now going to talk some NBA
All
for a
right.
little bit. There's still two games going on currently, but we're gonna talk about the ones that are finished, and then we'll get back to UCLA and Tennessee once that wraps up. So, Dre, are there any particular games you want to talk about?
I can go through the NBA today. I got it.
All right.
All right. Our first game we had, the Indiana Pacers beat the Brooklyn Nets 108 to 103. Cam Johnson was pretty good in his comeback game, played 37 minutes, 20 points, 9 rebounds, but the Nets were led by Trenton Watford with 26 points, 5 rebounds. Keon Johnson with 17 points. Nick Claxton, 1 point off of a double double, 9 points, 10 rebounds. Jalen Wilson finally had a good game, 23 minutes, 13 points, 6 rebounds. But obviously, Pacers just a better team. Outscored them 33 to 18 in the fourth quarter, which won them the game. Excuse me. Pascal Siakam led the way with 26 points and 6 assists. Um, Miles Turner, 22 points, 8 rebounds. Tyrese Halliburton, almost 2 rebounds off a triple double, 16, 12 assists, 8 rebounds. Benedict Mathurin, after his crazy game, 13 points, 4 rebounds. Obi Toppin, 10 points, 5 rebounds. And then TJ McConnell, 8, 4, and 4. Overall, Pacers shot a little bit better, 47.5 to 43%. Both teams shot mediocre from the 3 point line, 35% for the Nets, 31% for the Pacers. The Nets struggled at the free throw line, 58%, 10 for 17, while the Pacers shot 81%, 17 for 21. Rebounds, Nets kind of owned the offensive rebounds, but overall they only had 4 more rebounds. Um, and then, yeah, the Nets and Pacers both had 14 and 13 turnovers. And then, yeah, nothing else really stands out for that. I mean, not a very eventful game other than the Pacers were losing, but hey, that's about it. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, Pacers won a bit because, of course, I'm a Bucks fan, but so the Pacers winning is kind of a big no-no or not a good thing for us Bucks fans. But just the fact that the Pacers were able to escape this one just showed like that's huge. Especially they can keep the 4 seed in the East for right now. And how about Tyrese Halliburton? I know he only had 16 points today, but he is very consistent with the assists. He's one of the best passers in the NBA. He proved it again
Mm-hmm.
tonight with 12 assists. So Tyrese Halliburton showed out tonight, and that was huge for the Pacers. That's pretty much all I got for that one. But yeah, that was a big win and a must-needer for the Pacers, especially against the team against the Nets at home, which a lot of people consider a trap game.
My camera sucks. Me. Oh, there we go. That's good. Yeah, that's all I really got. Our next game, the Warriors and Hawks. Warriors were down a lot, but they ended up only losing by 9. It was like a 30-point game. They were down. Let's see. Well, I guess the box score doesn't really say much. I mean, they lost the first quarter by 17, and they beat them by 5 in the second. Lost by 5, and then beat them by 8 in the fourth. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, 25, 8 and 4 for the Warriors. Quinton Post, 11 and 4 rebounds. Draymond Green, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. And then Brandon Podziemski, 19 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Moses Moody, 20 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Jonathan Kuminga with 16 points. Gary Payton with 11 points, 4 rebounds. Yeah. And then for the Hawks, they were led by Trae Young. I really thought Georges Niang was their leading scorer, but no, Trae Young, 25 points, 10 assists, double-double. Georges Niang, 23 points. And then Onyeka Okongwu, double-double. Wow, they had 3 people to double-double. That's crazy.
Wow.
Onyeka Okongwu, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Oh, my camera's messing up. Oh, my phone. All right. Well, no big deal. And then Dyson Daniels, damn. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. And then Zachary Risashe with 14 points. And then, yeah, that's about it. And then while I fix my phone, I will tell you that the Hawks shot 57% from the field compared to the Warriors 46. They both shot around 42% from the 3-point line. And then the Hawks actually struggled from the free throw line, 61%, and the Warriors shot 80%. Hawks kind of dominated the boards, 46 to 38. 14 turnovers for the Hawks, though. Still got the win to the Warriors 9. And yeah, that's about it. Hawks did have 9 more assists. So yeah. What do you have to say about that, Michael?
I mean, just the fact that 3 Hawks players had double doubles is just insane and how much of a good performance they had tonight. And there's just something about the Hawks at home. I know they're 18 and 17 at home this year, but they give contenders a run for the money at home, especially I'm a Bucks fan. Um, Especially I remember watching the Bucks game when they played the Hawks. They were up by like 21 in Atlanta, then all of a sudden they came back and won the game, which that game was on heck of drugs. But anyways, the Hawks, they tend to play well at home. Especially they got a great win against the Warriors today. And of course, Trae Young. I talked about how Halliburton is a passer. I think Trae Young is a better passer. He leads the league in assists per game, which he is just an incredible passer overall. And then I forgot to mention Dyson Daniels had 3 steals tonight too. So Dyson Daniels continues his incredible season on the steals on the defensive side of the ball. And overall, I just think this was a very big win for the Hawks for their play-in seeding. And the Warriors, they're looking like they're struggling a little bit. I mean, I know they were on the winning streak, but they have dropped some games now a little bit. So if I'm the Warriors, not a very big deal. I'd say try to return home as much as possible. Or I think they're on an East Coast road trip. So I'd say for the Warriors, try to survive the East and then hopefully come back home to San Francisco for a strong finish. But I think they're on their East Coast road trip because March Madness is heading to San Francisco for the Sweet 16 Elite 8 round. So yeah, that's all I got for that one.
Yeah, we have a final at Rupp Arena. The Tennessee Volunteers have beat the UCLA Bruins 67-58. So the second Big Ten team goes down. Chaz Lanier led the way with 20 points. Zakai Ziegler had 15 points, 6 assists. Made me sad because I needed him at 6.5. I would have made like $6 more, but that's fine. We'll talk about that later. Other than that, Jordan Gainey, 13 points, 6 rebounds, excuse me. And then for the UCLA Bruins, led by Sky Clark with 17 points. Tyler Bilodeau had 15 points, 5 rebounds. Ademara, 9 points, 5 rebounds. And then Trent Perry, 5 points, but nobody else really impressed. Yeah, overall, UCLA struggled. 37% from the field, 31% from three, 78% from the free throw line. Um, Tennessee shot 43% from the field, but they shot 50% from the 3 point line, and then 14 for 16 from the free throw line, 87%. Dominated the boards, had 37 rebounds in total, more offensive and defensive rebounds, 15 assists to 10. They turned the ball over more. And then we'll go over the last NBA game, and I'll get your opinions. We have the Knicks, led by Karl-Anthony Towns, 31 points, 11 rebounds in the win over the Wizards. Mikal Bridges, 24, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. OG Anunoby, 23 points. Josh Hart, 1 point away from double-double, 9 points, 12 rebounds. Cameron Payne, 13 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. And then a player that you're really familiar with, Tyler Kolek, 4 points, 8 assists off the bench. And then for the Wizards, they were led by Jordan Poole, who was struggling, but now 25-point game. Keyshawn George, double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Justin Champagnie, 7 points. And then Marcus Smart, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. AJ Johnson, another guy you're always familiar with, 9 points. Yeah, that's about it. Alex Sarr, I don't know if I mentioned them already, 8 points, 5 rebounds. Then overall, Wizards struggled mightily from everywhere, but the Knicks really didn't do much better, honestly. 48%, 37% from three, 77% free throw line for the Knicks. For the Wizards, 44% from the field, 30% from three, 73% from the free throw line. Knicks beat them on the rebounds, turn the ball over less, 20 turnovers to 14 for the Knicks. Points in the paint was pretty even, but 8 more assists for the Knicks. But yeah, that's it for the NBA and college basketball, Michael. Anything you got on those games?
Yeah, basically for UCLA and Tennessee, I mean, I just thought it was a very good defensive battle overall. I mean, I thought Tennessee won a grudged out, tenacious battle over UCLA. I mean, Mick Cronin's squad was ready to play some defense after how Wisconsin manhandled them. But Wisconsin got manhandled today against BYU. Okay, enough of that. But anyways, Tennessee, I mean, they look legit. I mean, they have the offense and they have the defense as well to definitely make a run in this tournament. And they definitely showed that today against UCLA. And then for the Wizards and Knicks game, I mean, Alex Sarr has secretly been really good for the Wizards. I know he struggled today for 8 points, but bad days are going to happen. But he's been doing pretty solid recently. And the Knicks, they just beat up on the Wizards. I mean, the Knicks, they are very good. They are always very good against teams that they are better than against. So, no surprise in the Knicks doing this. And, yeah, so that's all I got for that.
All right. And also, triple double, Josh Giddey, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists in the third quarter. I'm kind of sad though, because, yeah, I'll get to that later. But anyways, are we going through hockey? There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There are 14 games, but
Yeah, we're
two
going
of
to have
them
to
are still
speed.
playing. Yeah, Michael, you're gonna have to
Yeah,
go quick, bro. Just
yeah,
go.
we
Just
will.
just run it. Just run it,
All right,
Michael.
so we're going to speed run hockey
Don't
real
even
quick.
take don't even take my opinions because I didn't watch any of them and I don't know
Uh,
much about hockey. So just speed through it. Let's listen.
Okay, so the Rangers defeated the Canucks today 5-3. Leading the way for the Rangers was Johnny Brodzinski, who had 2 goals for the Rangers. Igor Shesterkin had 36 saves for the Rangers today, and JT Miller had a goal and an assist for the Rangers against his former team, the Canucks. So a big win for the Rangers there. The Stars defeated the Flyers in overtime 3-2. Leading the way for the Stars was Thomas Harley, a defenseman, scoring 2 goals today for the Stars. Leading the way for the Flyers was Travis Konechny, who had a goal. And then also scoring a goal for the Stars was Esa Lindell, who had a goal. And then my Minnesota Wild, okay, something good happened to me at least. The Minnesota Wild won today. They defeated the Sabres 4-1. Leading the way for the Wild was Matt Boldy, who had 2 assists today. Philip Gustafson had 20 saves, another masterclass performance, only allowing 1 goal. And then Matt Zuccarello, who had 1 goal and 1 assist today. Zuccarello has been playing very well for the Wild recently. The Blues defeated the Blackhawks 4-1. Sorry, Dre.
Oh well.
Um, leading the way for the Blackhawks was Pat Maroon.
Oh,
To
he's
him,
retiring. I
yeah,
saw a thing about that.
yeah. Sadly, Pat Maroon is retiring after the season. So yeah, that's kind of rough. But Pat Maroon had like a major penalty today. So like a 5 minute penalty today. And then also leading the way for the Blues was Alexei Toropchenko, who had a goal and assist. And also for the Blues, Nathan Walker had a goal and assist as well. The Flames defeated the Islanders in overtime today, 4-3. The Flames were led by Jonathan Huberdeau, who had a goal and 2 assists.
Again,
And
a guy
then
that we always bet on and doesn't do anything.
Yep, does stuff today, sadly. And then Matt Coronado had a goal, or excuse me, had 2 goals today. And then Nazem Kadri also had a goal for the Flames today. The Kings demolished the Hurricanes today, 7-2. Leading the way for the Kings was Andrei Kuzmenko, who had a goal and assists. And then Anze Kopitar had a goal and assist for the Kings as well. And then Drew Doughty had 2 assists for the Kings today. The Capitals defeated the Panthers 6-3. Leading the way for the Capitals was Connor McMichael, who had a goal and assist. Tom Wilson continues to have a great season for the Capitals, having a goal and assist. And then Martin Fehervary had 2 assists for the Capitals. The Utah Hockey Club defeated the Lightning 6-4. Leading the way for the hockey club was Logan Cooley with 2 goals and assists. Nick Schmaltz had a goal and 2 assists. And then also scoring 2 goals for the Utah Hockey Club was Alexander Kerfoot. And then the Avalanche defeated the Canadiens in a shootout, winning 5-4. Leading the way for the Canadiens was Juraj Slavkovsky, who had 2 goals. And then leading the ways for the Avalanche was Brock Nelson, who had a goal and assists, and Martin Necas, who had a goal. The Senators defeated the Devils 3-2. The Senators were led by Brady Tkachuk, who had a goal. Linus Ullmark had 25 saves, only allowing 2 goals today. And then Jake Sanderson for the Sens had an assist. And then the Predators defeated the Maple Leafs 5-2. Leading the way for the Predators was Luke Evangelista, who had a goal and assists. Having 2 assists in the day was Fedor Svechkov. And then Philip Forsberg had a big day for the Preds, having 2 goals and assists. And then the Golden Knights defeated the Red Wings 6-3. A hat trick. Hat trick alert. Tomas Hertl had a hat trick for the Golden Knights, having 3 goals. Jack Eichel had a goal and 3 assists, and Mark Stone had a goal and 2 assists. And then right now we have the Oilers are currently up 4-3 against the Kraken, and then after 2, the Bruins and Sharks are tied at 1 apiece. That's all for the NHL action. The
Wow, you went
Bucks
through that
and
really fast.
the Bucks and Kings are currently at 48 seconds left. So meanwhile, while we wait to finish them up, let's go through some potential picks for tomorrow. Dre, do you got some?
Yeah, I'm just gonna overview my day, but Jonas Valanciunas is kind of selling right now, and I put in a mid-game parlay, so I'll explain that. But I'll go over my winnings first. Today was a very successful day. I had Ryan Kalkbrenner under points, rebounds, and assists, and under rebounds individually, and I had JT Toppin over his rebounds, and they both hit. So I made $19 from that parlay, and then I used my Luka Doncic discounted pick and Ryan Kalkbrenner under his PRA for $5, and it hit. So I made 15. Sadly, Zakai Ziegler did not get 7 assists. He got stuck at 6. I would have made um, what is that? Around $5.50 for that. And Trey Young was 1 assist off, and Josh Giddey has 10 rebounds. That was another $3. And if Malik Monk would have played, I could have gotten another $3, but I will get refunded for that as Trey Kaufman-Renn got his PRA. He dominated like we just already talked about earlier. And I do need Austin Reeves to get 1 more assist for $3 more. And then Patrick Williams, I need him to not get 3 more points, and I need LeBron to not turn the ball over 2 more times for another $2.50. And other than that, that's what I got for my picks for today. But then if we go to tomorrow, I did look up all the games for tomorrow. So Pelicans, Pistons, obviously, you could probably go Cade Cunningham over his points, Cade Cunningham over his assist. I don't like that really. But a pick I do like is Denny Avdia for the Trailblazers against the injured Boston Celtics. So I would go his PRA unless it's super high, and then Nuggets and Rockets. If Jokic doesn't play, actually, I still don't really like that. But obviously, for the 76ers, you have to take Quentin Grimes over his points. That's a gimme, unless he sells again by 1 point, which wasn't really his fault because their coach didn't play him the entire fourth quarter. That's all right. And then Cavs and Jazz, Walker Kessler. If they give me the choice to do under 1 3-pointer again, I'm taking it, putting my mortgage on it. But yeah, I would probably go his rebounds. Heat, Kel Ware has been balling. Him and Mark
Yeah, he
Williams
has.
over their rebounds. Thunder Clippers, Shea over his points, James Harden over his points. They've both been balling. Um, I would say under points on Fred VanVleet because it's going to be super inflated. And if they have Jamal Murray, if Russell Westbrook is covering him, he ain't getting nothing. Westbrook's locking that down. And then Spurs and Raptors, that's a horrible matchup. Chris Paul played pretty good against the 76ers. Stephon Castle points, Chris Paul points for the Raptors. Emmanuel quickly rebounds, unless it's at 4.5. They keep it at 3.5, take it. He's been getting boards or rebounds and assists. He's been destroying his lines. Um, Honestly, or his PRA. He's been scoring. He's been doing a lot lately. But other than that, I mean, the LaMelo plays, do his rebound, or excuse me, his points. But yeah, my favorites are James Harden points, Kel Ware rebounds, and Quentin Grimes for over his points. And then for college basketball, I'm not even gonna do that right now. Other than that, I got nothing. Michael, what about you, cuh?
I got one pick that is either going to hit or it's not going to hit. And what
Well,
I mean by that
obviously,
is,
every
yeah,
pick hits or doesn't hit, Michael.
yeah, but you'll see what I'm going with. So my pick for tomorrow, I'm going with the college basketball ranks. I think that Mark Sears is going to go under his points against St. Mary's. Now, hear me out. This is
Slow,
either going to
methodical.
Yeah, slow, methodical. Yeah, this is going to go super well. This pick is going to go super well. Definitely going to hit, or it's going to be a complete disaster. Because here's the thing, Mark Sears, yeah, St. Mary's does play that slow, methodical defense. And with that, I think St. Mary's is going to force a lot of turnovers, including, I think they're going to turn over Mark Sears a lot. They're going to try to get him to be disrupted in his flow of play. And because of that, I think Mark Sears is going to try to play hero ball a lot, and he's just going to struggle against St. Mary's. And plus, the amount of possessions that Alabama is going to have is going to be very lowered compared to what he has been used to playing. So with that being said, I like for Mark Sears to be lower than his points because of St. Mary's defense and the lack of possessions that he is going to get. So that's my
I like
pick.
that. Honestly, let's go to college basketball. Um, wow, Walter Clayton's line is still at 17.5 when he literally dropped 22 on Alabama and Tennessee. Who is stopping Walter Clayton from scoring? Who is UConn's point guard? Solo ball? He's a good defender though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's decent. Yeah.
I mean, I could see him kind of dominating Walter Clayton for over his points. And that's an early game too. I'm gonna have to put in a bet on that. Just hopefully his line doesn't go up tonight. And then Baylor and Duke, I would like Cooper Flag. Oh wow, Maluak is only he only had 5 rebounds. Okay, he only played 16 minutes. That's why. But 7.5 rebounds. If Baylor can keep it close, I like that pick. But is his rebounds and assist? Take his rebounds and assist line. I don't care if his rebounds is 1.05 multiplier compared to a point 0.9 for rebounds and assist. Take his rebounds and assist. Just do it. I mean, he hasn't had an assist in his past 4 games before Mount St. Mary's, but he had two. So imagine you're like, oh man, I should have taken his rebounds. He's already at 7. He doesn't get a rebound the entire rest of the game, but he throws an alley oop dunk to Cooper Flag, and it hits your parlay. That's the way I look at it. Sometimes that extra 0.15 on your multiplier doesn't really matter as much. Moving on, Illinois and UConn. Oh, Lamont Butler at 8.
Illinois, Kentucky.
He has 0 points against Troy. Never mind. Do not take that. Otega Owe at 20. Damn, he's been balling. I don't know. I don't really know much more about either of these teams.
Illinois
Um,
does not, they're mainly offensive oriented and not really defense, and they're mainly a guard oriented team. So maybe take Otega away.
mm, Clifford Omuori, over 8 points. I am putting that in a parlay. He had 17 points against Robert Morris in 21 minutes. In a slow, methodical paced game, I don't know if
Some
St. Mary's has huge bigs, but Clifford
no,
is
they're
getting 4 baskets. If I
and
don't see
plus
Mark Sears throwing lobs to him every single play like I did against Robert Morris, I'm going to be mad.
here's the thing: St. Mary's is small, and I bet that there's gonna be a lot of Alabama bigs that are probably gonna get into foul trouble too because of
Mm-hmm.
frustration fouls. So also take that to effect too.
You mean St. Mary's?
Oh, St. Mary's, yeah.
Honestly, Neek Clifford for under 10 rebounds? That seems like a lock. They have Julian Reese and Derek Queen. I mean, Jalen Crocker Johnson for 9 points also seems like it could be. I feel like Maryland's going to run this game. What is Kyan Anthony's line? Or Kyan Anthony? That's Carmelo's kid. Kyan Evans for 13 points. I could see that. But honestly, I like Neek Clifford for under his rebounds. I like Neek Clifford, but I don't think he's getting 10 rebounds, especially against a good rebounding team with 2 starting caliber centers in Julian Reese and Derek Queen. Moving on, Ole Miss, excuse me, and ISU. Milan Mamlik blah blah Blavich over his
Chilavik.
points. Um, Joshua Jefferson. Damn, he did end up with 10, 8, and 8. I don't know. I don't really know much about Ole Miss. Uh, New Mexico, and I mean, wow, they dumped Nelly Jr. Joseph's rebound line. I would take the over on that. Other than Jackson Cole, or who do they really got stopping Nelly Jr. Joseph from scoring? Or
Colin
Nelly
Carr.
Joseph. Cohen Carr is not boxing that big dude out. I understand he has a 50-inch vertical. But anyways, Donovan Dent, they said they're going to prioritize covering him. I could see him going under his line, especially with Trey Holloman and Jace Richardson covering him. I hope he doesn't. I'm not going to bet against him. If you guys want to, go ahead. But I like Nelly Jr. Joseph and Jackson Kohler over their rebounds. Maybe not Jackson Kohler. True Washington, I think he can get 11 points, sophomore from New Mexico. And then Jace Richardson, you always have to go over his points. He missed it by 1 or 2 last game, but other than that, he's been balling. And then our final game, Arizona and Oregon, Jackson Shellstad. Um, he's been going back and forth recently. I could see him going over. Nate Biddle for 9 rebounds. That's a pretty good line, especially when he had how many rebounds against Maryland? 11. That's MSU, right? No, that's Michigan State.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I mean though. Like Nelly Jr. Joseph at 11 rebounds, I could see that. And then other than that, KJ Lewis, his line's 13. He's hit that twice. Wow. But yeah, those are my picks. So I like Nelly Jr. Joseph over his rebounds. I like Nick Clifford under his point or rebounds, excuse me, if my thing will load. And who else was it? There was one more. Clifford Amore for 8 points. Those are the guys I'm going to be betting on now that I actually have money in my underdog account after a day where I finally made money. But other than that, NHL. Let me look and see if there's any other finals. Oh, there is not.
We do have a final in the NBA though. The Bucks, my team, they defeated the Kings 114 to 108. Just to recap this quick, leading the way for the Bucks was Giannis Antetokounmpo, who had 32 points and 17 rebounds. And then leading the way for the Kings was Keon Ellis with 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. So yeah, final for the Golden One Center. Bucks defeated the Kings 114 to 108.
Sweet.
All right. We are definitely past an hour. We're around an hour and 7 minutes. So that's gonna do it for us today. So thank you all for tuning into this podcast today. I'll probably my depression might be cured because of this podcast. It might not be. The Wisconsin depression lives on. So that will do it for today. I'm Michael Hernan there with Andre Tainter, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.